Hey guys, Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my anime review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 79. This one was actually an extremely jam-packed episode with actually a lot of little interesting nuggets of information throughout. Some interesting, some kind of goofy, I guess, actually, you could say. Um, so for the... So for the first a couple minutes of this episode, it pretty much picks up where it left off with Basil and Majin Buu going at it. And of course, Buu for like the first good 7 to 8 minutes of this episode was still treating it like a game. And we of course we learn I guess that the three Wolf brothers, Basil and his brothers, have actually have the name of Trio de Dangers or something like that. I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that, I was kind of laughing my ass off because that made them sound like a fucking circus act or something like that. But it was just a funny nickname that they gave themselves. Um, it wasn't until I guess the ten the like the it wasn't until midway in where things started getting serious and we started seeing and Basil started showcasing his true power as Basil the Kicker. Um, which is interesting because it seems that this core of Basil's power it comes from shooting energy beams from his legs, which is compared to his hands, which is where most of the time where we see most of the Dragon Ball Z fighters or whatever fire energy beams from. But it's an interesting little it's interesting. It's actually kind of one of those interesting little things. It's actually one of those interesting little design little design little design things that's unique in its own way. Um, Also, another thing to note is Universe 9 again. Now, the one thing I did notice throughout this whole episode is the way that the Universe 9 Supreme is that the way that many people might not notice this too much because it's a small little tidbit, but I noticed the way that the Supreme Kai and the God of Destruction of Universe 9 were kind of acting throughout this episode, and honestly, it seemed to me it almost seemed like those roles should of course be a little reversed in a way. I suppose you could say half the time like the Supreme Kai is such a power hungry and is such a power hungry and greedy asshole, and yet the God of Destruction of Universe 9 seems a little more peaceful, almost, or even, or he at least knows where it is that the line needs to be drawn, of course. So it's one of those things where when you look at these two side by side, it almost seems like the roles should be reversed, like that, like the dwarf guy should almost be the Supreme Kai, and the Supreme Kai should be the God of Destruction or something. But yeah, it's a weird little tidbit. Um, Another thing to note is we also get is we get in as we get a little it was a small little hint on that hooded figure of Universe 11 that we've seen in the previews. Um, we learn his name was we learn his name is Topo, I believe they state his name is, and he apparently has some sort of energy absorption ability. Um, he also he also seems to have a very loyal loyal personality because he said don't mock the gods, mortals, or something like that when after you absorb the power. So it's like or respect the gods, mortals. So it seems I'm wondering again. People have been theorizing that he might in fact be the god of destruction of the Universe 11, but I think he is. It's just his characterization, honestly. It more than likely has. They've already said that the clown, of course, is Universe 11's God of Destruction, but who knows? But for now, I think the guy's just a fighter for Universe 11. I think. But yeah. Another thing to note is that we get almost one thing. Of course, another thing is that we get a little characterization about Boo this time, and we get a little characterization about Boo, and it really just shows how far Boo has come actually in many respects. Because when we see Like I think this was kind of one of those things that was always present in him in Z, I guess, in the latter portions of Z or the epilogue of Z, I guess. But it's ever since his time as like this evil being passed, it seems like he's become a lot more good natured, of course, and he really respects his new comrades. So like when he saw Mister Satan injured from all those blasts, from being hit by the barrage of blast attacks, he that was when he really got serious. And by God, what was it amazing? Like it was just really great to see Boo just go all ham on Basil. Like it was the match in itself was just a very fun match, to be honest with you. Um, One thing, and then of course we also learn a bit about probably what this whole about how this whole universe survival tournament is probably gonna go with in terms of Zeno's contribution to like the rules and whatnot, because the thing about this particular match is it was of course just a straight up brawl, but from the way that Zeno was talking in this episode, and we've known this that we just can't trust Zeno. Um, the way Zeno was talking in this episode, it sounds like this is going to be a tournament where basically where after this exhibition match and after all the rules are set up, it sounds like this very well could in fact be a match where anything goes. Like because when of course when Basil was knocked out of the ring, Goku was like, "Hey Zeno, that means the match is over." But he was like, "Nah, I'm bored. I want the match to keep going." And then the Grand Priest was basically like, This is the Zen exhibition match. Anything goes according to the rules of Zeno." So again, this basically just says that the rules of the tournament are basically anything that the Zenos are going to. The rules of the tournament are based on what Zeno wants to happen. So if he says the tournament doesn't end until someone is dead, a match in a tournament doesn't end until someone is dead. It could very well be that. So like, I mean, again, it's again going back to it's again going back to this is going back to again something like the same thing again, but again I think Goku just bit off way more than he could chew, and you know, and this is one of the things that we've all been thinking about, but like, and one like onto that point, it's like I'm not I'm not a big fan of how Toei has been. I'm kind of on the fence right now, of like during. I know this is just the start of the arc, and things can still change, or Goku can develop some kind of sense of danger finally, or realize he's in over his head. Hopefully, but until then, I'm not liking the way that Toei is presenting Goku. Like he's really is almost presenting. I mean, I think I know how Toei's trying to portray it. They're trying to portray Goku in a way where he's letting his sane instincts get the better of him, and maybe that is very well the route they're trying to go. But at the same time, it's like I think they may be slightly overdoing it, but I'm not sure. Um. So yeah, and then after that, the rest of the majority of the rest of the episode is just is just Boo going ham, and it also during this also shows how far. Again, going back to what I was saying about the Universe 9 guys, it goes to show how far like the Universe 9, or at least the Supreme Kai of Universe 9, is willing to go in order to make sure that he wins this tournament or something. Like he's basically has the mindset of, hey, if we're not gonna win anything, we may as well at least have a lot of shit ton of fun with the shit ton of fun, right, or something like that. But yeah, it shows you just how kind of fucked up in a way Universe 9 almost is. Like, but yeah, or at least the Supreme Kai that universe is. But yeah, one final thing to note is that by the end of this episode, Gohan steps into the ring, and now we've all heard some stuff about what's going to happen to Gohan, and I'm not okay. I want to save my judgment for right now. I'm gonna save my judgment for I'm gonna save my judgment for what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen because according to to a synopsis of the next episode, apparently Gohan is going to get blinded and then unable to sense ki. But actually, here's the thing. They said. Actually, here's the other thing. This episode was revealed that in a way these three wolf guys they don't have any ki, so in a way this kind of adds validity to the next episode in the sense where the whole thing said that even though that Gohan is blinded and he can't sense their ki, so I'll give a prediction on I'll give my 2 cents on a prediction or something for the next episode in which that even though Gohan is gonna get blinded, the whole him not sensing the ki of the opponent thing, it does add a little more validity now that we know that apparently these wolf guys can either hide their ki or they have a similar sort of ki to the gods themselves or something like that. So yeah, Gohan not being able to sense their ki in the next episode, that does add a little more validity. But after that, the whole blinding thing, well, I'm not sure what to think about that until the actual airs. Again, though, from what I read of the synopsis, it says that Gohan gets blinded and he can't sense their ki. Now, of course, we already established the whole why he can't probably sense their ki, but it also gives a but. So right now, I'm still holding out my hope that even though he will be blinded, I'm assuming that Gohan is going to use his other senses in order to fight his opponent. I'm hoping. Now, whether or not he's going to win, who knows? People have been saying he's not going to win, but you can go ahead and call me a foolish optimistic, but from the sounds of it, I'm imagine he's gonna pull out some kind of I imagine he's gonna pull off. I imagine it's gonna be where he's gonna push to his limits, and almost lose, but then he's probably gonna pull something out of his ass. That's my whole prediction for the next episode, guys. But yeah, that's my review of Dragon Ball Super episode 79. But yeah, it was a good episode for what it was. Loved Majin Buu going in. We got a bit of characterization, and yeah, it just shows that anything can happen in this tournament from this point on. But yeah, guys, that's my review. And like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video. And if you enjoyed the video, and or even if you didn't, and follow me on Twitter and Facebook if you want. Death Knight of Anime, signing off, guys. Ciao.